Right then, welcome back to the channel. I'm in the woods with the lads. If you hear some gunfire in a minute, do not be alarmed, because the lads are just doing some anti-ambush drills literally right there. But there's some breaking news, and I have to react to the breaking news, don't I? So Christian Falk, as you can hear there, Christian Falk has said, besides the transfer of Joshua Zirkzee, United are interested in Ivan Toney. What? Contract expires in 2025. So Toney wants to join United, and Brentford are already informed by the agent of the striker. Probably available at a massively knocked down price, 40, 50 million. I'm purely guessing here because there's no fees being reported. But it's funny this, because I've already recorded a video which I don't think has come out yet, where I actually talked about Ivan Toney being linked with United as a bit of a what's it. So why are we looking at three strikers? Why are we looking at three centre halves? And why aren't we looking at any midfielders? Is it because we are changing up our formation? Are we going to go to a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, something along those lines? What formation? Getting Zirkzee in to play either instead of or behind, in terms of like on the field, not just like in the pecking order of Howson, makes sense, right? Having backup makes sense. Having three strikers that admittedly are three different styles, to be fair, that's three genuinely different tools, totally different keys that you get in there. Three strikers that are a completely different profile. Very interesting. Is his gambling ban an extra sort of like 5 mil off the price as well, maybe? 20 league goals before his ban. Got 4 goals, 2 assists last season in 17 games. Not great. Total different profile. The form of him coming into this window versus the form of him prior to his ban, totally different price. The contract situation, totally different price. Again, the profile, total different player. I can't work out what United are doing here, which is clouding all of my reaction. My reaction should be like, Jesus Christ, United are not fucking about in this window at all. Why do we want Ivan Toney? Are we going to play a two-striker system? Does that mean that Bruno Fernandes is getting moved back alongside Kobe Mainoo? Bruh. Does that mean you're going to see a Zirkzee or a Toney playing off Howson? Or you might even see a Zirkzee and a Toney when Howson gets a night off. Exciting. Because the one thing that you never want to be with a football team is predictable. You don't want it to be to the point where everyone goes, I know exactly how United play, I know exactly how they're going to play. Unless you're the best team in the world. If you're the best team in the world, you don't have to give a fuck. You can be like, this is how we're going to play, and you still can't stop it. You can guess my 11 because you know it's our best 11, but you can't do shit about it. If we're being real with ourselves, United are nowhere near that. So we can't be in a position where we're like, yeah, we'll just do this. We'll play our best 11, and you know exactly how we're going to play. You have to have a little bit of deception when you're a little bit of an underdog. You have to keep people guessing. If they know how you're going to play, people can spend all week on your starting 11. This is exactly how you're going to play. If you've got a little bit of options and you go, well, they might play 4-2-3-1 and they might line up like this. Oh, they might play 4-3-3 and they might play like this, or they might play 3-5-2 and they might play like this. You can't spend 5 days on that system because you don't know which system Manchester United are going to come out in. Are they going to be a back four or a back three? That makes a massive difference. It's going to start gunfire again in a second. Oh no, they're not. The guns are getting regassed. But it makes it very tactically interesting until you become the best team in the world, which you may never become. But once you become the best team in the world, you can just shrug your shoulders and say, this is our best 11, and so be it. But when it comes to these signings, like United haven't just gone, we're looking at De Ligt. I think Bramthwaite is done now with the Aston Villa signing of Amadou Onana. But I think bringing in, 1 second, Chris is ringing you. There you go. I think Amadou Onana going to Aston Villa for 50 million was the reported price. I think that means Everton no longer need to sell Jared Branthwaite. So that means that United are either going to sign De Ligt or De Ligt and Euro. I think Branthwaite's probably off the table for us now. Which I'm going to be honest with you, I'm relatively happy about that, to be honest. So I would like to see us get Euro. And then you've got 3 defenders in the mix. And then you could go to a back 3 with 3 very accomplished defenders. And you can switch that whole shit up and go to a midfield 2. Dalot looks sensational as a wing back. And actually so does Luke Shaw. So you could go Shaw, them 3 defenders with Martinez. And Dalot as your back 5. You could go you could go Mainu and Fernandes as your central midfield. Or you could go... and you could play all 3 of them forwards. No, I'm all right. So I think, getting a bit lost with people trying to ask me questions around here. Yeah, you could do. There's a lot of things you could do there. You could play a sort of asymmetric forward line where you have. Maybe you play Zirkzee in a little bit of that Mandzukic kind of role where he plays off the right-hand side and he's actually more of a wide playmaker, sort of defensive forward rather than like a winger that's going to get beyond and cross stuff in and it just mixes it up a little bit for you. I find it absolutely fascinating and intriguing and I'm a little bit excited, if I'm being honest with you, about how United are going to pace this one out. Because it's very clear that we're after these. Zirkzee's done. All but done, right? Why the Toney stuff to come out right now? I mean, there was a little tickle maybe a few days ago, but why the Toney stuff to come out right now? If we manage to get Toney as well as Zirkzee, it's a lot of pressure on Højlund. It's also a lot of pressure off Højlund, depending on how you look at it. But what formation are United going to play? Could we play a narrow 3? Narrow 3 with that, what we said behind. Damn. And then Kobe and Bruno in the middle. And actually, the modern shape that everybody's trying to play at the moment, 3. Martinez, Euro, De Ligt. That works. 2, Mainu, Bruno. 5, Højlund, Toney, Zirkzee, with Dalot and Shaw providing the width. I might have to touch my cock a little bit here. This is the bit where we say, oh shit, 21 is coming. I still think we need another midfielder. But I like that. I like that a lot. Anyway, I'm going to continue with what we're doing here. Let me know in the comments if you'd like me to discuss the Javi Simons thing, because that sort of broke a little bit as well as a loan option. Let me know in the comments. See you in a bit.